the power of break even? Why is that one of the most important numbers that every business owner needs to understand?
Okay, thanks for that question. I call margin as gross profit as a percent of sales, margin at 30% or 40%, the most important metric in business operations. There are other important things that have to do with the balance, but in day-to-day operations, that's the most important thing because it determines how much you have to sell to pay your overhead. So if you're not familiar with it, let's say you have a 50% margin, because that's easy to
do the math on.
Calculate.
Yeah.
And you have 100% or $100,000 overhead. You have to sell $200,000 to pay your overhead and begin making a profit. Make sense?
Yes.
You get 50 cents left over out of each dollar of sales. Has to go first to pay your overhead. Once that's all paid, it begins to accumulate as profit.
Yes.
Okay. There are several reasons that's important to understand that concept. One is a lot of people, well, first is the fruitlessness of pursuing sales, because the math never works if there's no margin, right? Or if you have a 25% margin, you got to sell $400,000 to make your overhead. Okay. But a lot of people go to work every day at the first of the month and they think, I'm making a little money today. My insurance guy's making a little money. My employees are making a little money. My suppliers, everybody's making a little money today. Aren't we happy? Well, no, you're not. You're not making anything. You don't make a penny, nothing, until you pay all your overhead. And what I say in my book is that doesn't happen until the 29th of the month. You had better not go fishing on the 30th because you've forgiven or you've forfeited your only opportunity to make gross profit before all those bills reset on the Monday of the following month, right? So, and then you start to realize what I kind of stumbled through and said there. If I have a 50% margin and 100,000 overhead, I only have to sell 200,000 to break even. If it goes to 25%, now I got to sell 400,000 to break even. Now I may not even be able in my capacity in my business to do 400,000.
And you got to sell it every month.
And you got to do it every month.
Right. And that's not how sales works, right? It doesn't come in at night.
You need to understand, you need to look at a new truck and go, I got to sell $700,000 worth of stuff to pay for that truck. I'm not buying it. I need to hire a new salesman. Well, new salesman going to cost me $5,000 a month plus commission. Well, I'll just say $5,000 a month. He's got to sell $10,000 a month to pay his bill, to pay himself, right? With 50% margin.
Yeah.
If I'm paying him $5,000, he's got to sell $10,000 to break even. And then there's break even on expenses to making profit. Then you have to pay your debt service out of profit every month. So you not only got to pay your overhead, start making a profit, you also got to make enough margin to pay your debt service. Even though it's called profit, you don't have any free cash from that, right? So you need to know your gross profit margin as a whole and for different products. And at any instant in time, be able to look at any expenditure or any savings and say, that's how much more I have to sell, or that's how much less I can sell and make the same amount of money.